I'm Erl Montegyu, and what I'll be teaching on this video is the classical original style of БАГУА Erl. There are three different types of БАГУА Erl today. There's the original form, which I don't know why they call it the original form, because it really isn't the original form. The original form were just 8 different sections that you did walking around a circle, and after each one you just stopped and then did the next one and so on. But I guess it's called original because a man called Jiang Zhangzhao was the first man to sort of formalize БАГУА into some sort of pattern, into some sort of form, as with the Taiji form. So that's why it's called the original. The other is called the body swimming form, which is done in China today, and exponents of that art are encouraged to sort of make up their own movements and so forth for tournaments. And the other form is the 12 animal forms. You do get a smidgen of the animal forms in the original form that I'll be teaching anyway, but there are 3 other animal forms that I rather like, and so I've tacked them onto the end of the original form. So instead of getting 8 palm changes, as per the original, we now have 11. БАГУА is very much like Taiji in its mind part, in its internal movement of energy. The difference being, of course, that БАГУА is a totally different form, and a lot of people seem to think that БАГУА is some sort of part of Taiji. Well, it isn't. It's a totally self-contained identity. It's a martial art on its own. Some people share the idea that I share, and that is that БАГУА is called the daughter of Taiji, whereas Xingyi is said to be the son of Taiji, because БАГУА has all palms and only 1 fist, and Xingyi has 5 fists and 1 palm, but Taiji has them all. So I guess Taiji really has elements of Xingyi and БАГУА in it, in its advanced stages, of course, and the fighting parts of all the 3 martial arts are very much the same, although in the initial stages of learning how to use it, they are really totally different. But the internal movement of energy is very much the same. БАГУА attains the same power that Taiji attains by a different method, though. It attains it through sort of twisting, turning movements. I guess it's a little bit like when you take a sort of a piece of metal, a coat hanger or something, and twist it like this, opposing circles, and it goes white hot in the middle. And I guess that's the sort of thing that we're looking for in БАГУА. We twist our body to gain torque, to get power. It's said to be the fastest of all the martial arts, the fastest stepping. They're tiny little steps. You don't take, sometimes you take big steps, but for the most part, especially just the walking around the circle, they're only shoulder width steps and little fast, snappy steps. БАGUA has its own qigong, and it uses its 8 palms in that qigong to heal certain organs in your body. Each palm represents an anatomical part of your body, as well as an earthly part, for instance, fire, clouds, wind, earth, heaven, and so forth. So we have 8 different palms that we use, which represents the 8 trigrams from the Chinese Book of Changes, or the I Ching. Now when you double these 8 palms up, of course, you get 64, as per the 64 trigrams in the I Ching. So БАГУА is really based more so than any other martial art, more so than Taiji or Xingyi, upon the I Ching. The main part of БАГУА is the walking part, simply walking around a circle and relating your own center to the center of that circle. In fact, a training method they used to use in the old days was they'd get one of those big barrels, those big, like, wooden oak barrels, and they'd put a thicker edge around the top of it and fill it with water. Then they'd start literally walking around the edge of that barrel with their palms into the center of the barrel each day, practice, And every day they take the equivalent of a tablespoonful of water out of the barrel. And it's said by the time that there was no more water in the barrel that the barrel wouldn't tip over because their center was so good that all of their energy, it's a little bit like the gyroscope effect, was going into the center of that barrel. And so that's what we're trying to look for. We're trying to look for center. That's the main thing, is the center. We're relating our own center to the center of this circle here. Oh, I've got a circle on the floor here, which I'll show you in a minute. And we've got a center there. You relate your own center to it. So we start off by doing the Bagua Qigong, then we go into the most important part, the Bagua walking. It's a strange sort of walking, and that's not to say that you're going to use this walking in the martial arts sense. It's only to get your body doing different things to gain, once again, the same as for Tai Chi, timing, coordination, and perfect balance. Now we go on to the form of Bagua, which is all done around a circle. It's a little bit more energetic than Tai Chi as well. Looks a little bit more martial. But then that's only to make your walking a whole lot better. A lot of people think that they walk around the circle to make the form a whole lot better. Well, it's the other way around. After that, that's sort of the equivalent of the Tai Chi slow form. That's basically your healing part, although it does have martial application, as does the Tai Chi slow form. It's basically the part where you get your body strong, you get your mind strong. You literally twist and turn your body and your sinews, your bones into shape while doing the circular form. Then we go on and learn the linear form, or the fighting form, and this is the equivalent of the Pao Chui form, or the San Shao form from the Tai Chi. It's a much faster, harder form with very definite martial applications. So that's what I'll be teaching. I'll start out with the Bagua Qigong. Now I'll start with the 8 different palms, and this will be the Bagua Qigong. It's quite a difficult Qigong because it takes a lot longer than the Tai Chi Qigong. Traditionally, although you can, of course, shorten it down yourself, as long as each palm is done for the same amount of time. You have your feet a little bit wider this time than for Tai Chi, a little bit wider than shoulder width, and the toes are scrunched under once again. So you have your toes like so. And that is, by the way that we do the walking, with it not flat-footed like so, it's with the toes scrunched under slightly. Now you sit down until your knees come in line with your toes, sort of like you're riding a horse. Like that, back straight, bum tucked under just lightly, back vertical. Chin in, the tongue's resting on your hard palate just above your tooth line. Now you're breathing here. When you breathe in, that area there comes out. When you breathe out, that area goes in. So you're breathing in and out through your nose and into your lower abdomen rather than raising your chest. Hands by your sides. You breathe in, and as you breathe out, you make a number 1 palm, which represents heaven or the head, and you lead with your fingers. Now you stand there for 5 minutes, just holding it. You'll begin to shake like this, violently sometimes. Just every time you breathe in, imagine the air coming in through the tips of your fingers down to your dantian. Dantian is a psychic point or electrical center about 3 inches below your navel and inside your body on an acupuncture meridian called the Jumai. And when you breathe out, imagine the air coming from down here, out along both arms and out your fingers, out into infinity. Now this is the Bagua palm. Notice how the hand is actually concave. It's not flat like this. It's concave. Now there's a slight amount of tension in the whole palm. Unlike Tai Chi, which is done like so, there's a slight amount of tension. The fingers are as far apart as you can stretch them. This is called Dragon Palm Bagua Chiang. There is another Bagua form which we teach to people who really can't get that tension, or someone who has RSI, repetitive strain injury in their arms or something like that, which is called Ox Tongue Palm, and every palm is done just like that. It's more relaxed. But this is the one we teach. It's called Dragon form. So it's concave inside here. So that's your number 1 palm. It represents heaven. Now your number 2 palm is the opposite. So you breathe in as you pull your palms back to your head, back to your side. Now as you breathe out again, you lead with your fingers again and push your palms out as you breathe out. But this time the palms are facing downward. And that represents earth, or the left-hand side of your abdomen, including the pancreas, spleen, and left side of your stomach. Breathe in as you take your hands down after 5 minutes. Number 3 palm is fire and represents the eyes. You lead this time with your palm. Represents the eyes. Pull your palm back. Number 4 palm represents thunder, or the center of your stomach as you bring the fingers out, sort of like the Tai Chi Qigong, except the finger is a little bit tense. Number 5 is in between number 4 and 6. It's straight out. So the fingers are jabbing straight out. It represents the wind, and it also represents the first 5 lumbar vertebrae. Number 6 is the opposite of number 4. It's the only one that goes downwards, and it's held downwards as well. It represents water or the kidneys. Number 7 palm is like a bent number 5. You bring your hands forward and chop sort of with the knife edge part of your palm. Represents the neck or the mountain. Number 8 palm is representative of the clouds, or the right-hand side of the whole stomach area. Now this is a very difficult one to hold. Your palms are trying to get over. Unlike a number 1, they're trying to get over like that. So you hold it like that. And then bring it back. So they're the 8 palms, the most important palms that we're going to be using during the walking and the fall. Now I'll start to teach you the walking. This is the next most important part. Well, this is the most important part. You start with your feet on the circumference of the circle. There's a circle there. Now, it's 90 degrees. You have the circle, the circumference of the circle running through both heels, and your feet are going out at 45 degrees either side of the circumference. Your toes are curled under. Now, you never have any weight on your front foot in Bagua, but just for the practice I will put the weight and do it slowly, but it's done so quickly that the front foot becomes the back foot straight away. So you place your weight down onto your right leg and step forward with your left foot, placing your heel on the circumference so that your left toe is facing sort of into the center, not right to the center, but just about 45 degrees to the circumference, like that. So the inside foot, the heel is on the line. Now the weight's down, your back is straight, chin in. Now you brush your ankles together and then take your right toe onto the outside of the circumference. See how the toe is now on the... So your heel, your outside heel, the heel is out, and you're sort of walking parallel now. So the toe is on the circumference. Now you brush your ankles together again, and now your heel goes on the circumference. Now you see now this is what's called a scissor step. Your knees are almost touching. Sinking your energy down all the time, down to Dantian, and your shoulders are totally relaxed, head is relaxed, everything's relaxed. And you bent down with a straight back and buttocks tucked under. So that's basically the walking. Now there is a little something else to put in to this walking. Now you see how that step is really fast. So you've never really got any weight on your front leg here in the walking. Now notice I'm slipping. I place my foot, toe and heel always placed together, and then I slip just a little bit, but not so much. You only take a step, a shoulder width step, and then you slip so that there's still weight on that foot, on the back leg. There's no weight on your front leg. So you still should be able to slip here, and so that there's no weight on that foot. So that's what's called mud stepping. You step and you slip. Step, slip, step, slip. So the slip is actually part of the next step rather than the previous one. So I step first, then slip. Step first, then slip. 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 So this is really to ensure that there's no weight ever on the front leg. Alright, now in bar we never really go backwards. You always turn to face your opponent. So in order to go back the other way, now this is an inside step because I'm open here to the centre. I've got my right foot on the outside and the left foot on the inside, so it's open to the centre. So if I want to do what's called an inside turn, I simply swivel on my heels and the toes, both toes swivel back the other way. That's all inside. They both go together. You come up on both heels and you change your weight to your right leg now change it back to your left leg and so on. So that's what's called an inside change. Now if you're walking around, then you walk around the other way, of course, to practice it. Now if you want to do a change here, you've got to do an outside turn. You can't turn into the circle, into the centre now. So you've got to go right around the outside, up on your heels again. Notice how the left foot turns in again. And then back again. So you're changing your weight, constantly changing your weight from left to right. Now you mustn't have any tension whatsoever in your upper body, otherwise if you have tension, so you'll fall over like so. So you must really be sinking your energy down so that your energy centre is down here, so that when you turn it's all balanced. So that's an inside and outside change. So you must practice that walking until you have the walking so well that you're not falling, you're not out of balance. You must really be hard on yourself in this. Now what's a good idea to do is to train so that when you walk the circle, you have a little, like a tape recorder, and you put on a change. So you change. And just put random changes on it. So change, whoop, change, change, boom, change, and so on until you can just turn. You know that if your foot's out there, you must change that way, or if your foot's there, you must change that way, and so on. So you're getting random changes all the time. It's a good training method for you just to sort of train in doing that way. The next thing to do is to start using your palms. So what we start out with usually is a number 3 palm. Fire into the centre. Now your palm always faces the centre. It never faces, so if you're walking it's over there, that's wrong. It's got to face the centre. Your other palm is up like this. It's said to be 7 tsung away from, that's 12 tsung from your wrist to your elbow. So 7 tsung's about there. So it's that far away from your elbow. Make sure there's a distance between your chest and your palm, your inside palm. So that's how you walk around the circle with both palms. Now if you want to find out how to do any of the palms, okay, you stand in your qigong position, then simply turn into the centre, and your hand just naturally comes into there, and that's how you walk. Now when you're walking around the circle, your hips go along the circumference of the circle, but your upper body turns into the centre. So your hips are going around the circumference and your shoulders are turned into the centre. This long arm here, whether it be left or right, feels like it's expanding, whereas the short arm feels like it's pulling back. But you don't actually do that, it just sort of feels contradictory to each other. So now you're walking around the circle holding your number 3 palm. Now the way we change here, using the palm, so we're going to do an inside change now. You thrust your hand out over your own forearm and turn it into the centre as you do the change. So you can see the martial value of that. Now it doesn't matter whether you go underneath or over top. Same with the outside change. If you're on an outside footing, the hand comes over your own forearm and spins around like this, and it's said that you must hear the wind through your hand, so it goes. Like so. So what you can do now is you can change, every time you do a change, you can change to a different palm. So if you're walking around with a number, say 2 number 1 palms, you would change using that current palm and change into, for instance, a number 2 palm as you came into the center again. And then you would change it back again, maybe to a number 4 palm. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 is the difficult one. So that's how you're walking, holding your palms into the center. So you should be able to change. So say, for instance, you're walking around the circle and you put on your little tape recorder, 6, change to a number 6 palm. 7, 7, start walking immediately again. 8, to a number 8 palm, and so on. Back to a number 3. So you get that effect happening all around the circle. Now what you can do is you can change and use your 64 palms just walking around the circle. So what you do now is you call out 2 numbers. So say you call out 3 and a 4, you change, your inside hand becomes 3 and your closest hand becomes a number 4. Then you're walking around, then you might go 4 and 3, so you just change to 4 and 3. So you can see by doing that, you can get all the different palm changes just saying 2 numbers. Now what you have to do is to get it going so that it's a really good mind game, so that as soon as you say 3 and 4, you're into 3 and 4. As soon as you say 6 and 8, you're into 6 and 8, and so on. So it's really training your mind to just go bang, 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 without thinking about what you're doing. Now that's basically what you're supposed to be doing with your walking around the circle. What you do later on with the walking around the circle, you have a partner, and you join wrists in the center here, and you start walking around. Now we attack each other, and he does a change. I attack, and he does either an internal or an outside change. And we're continually attacking each other with that part of our arm, but that'll come later. So once you've achieved a fair sort of proficiency with that walking, now we go on and practice the BAGUA form. There are 8 classical BAGUA palm changes and 3 extras that I've added myself from various masters with whom I've trained around the world. You start in the same way that you started off your walking, with the feet going through the circle like that. Your feet are scrunched under, and you put your weight down on your down your left leg rather, sorry, and you thrust out 2 number 1 palms like that. So you're taking a block. Someone's throwing a punch and you're going, and the block's just glancing off of your arm like so. As you do that, you put in a kick to the knee. You don't actually execute the kick. You just place your foot forward. So the circumference of the circle is now going through your foot. So you see your feet are sort of parallel now. You're down and you thrust your hands forward. That's called leaning on the horse, asking the way. So from here they happen together. And what you're actually doing there is and blocking and kicking to the knee, but we don't execute that kick. So that's your first movement. You breathe in and lead with your fingers. Thrust them forward. Now from here you turn both palms out, just like you're going to push out of the circle, and turn your right toes out, making that your knees almost touch or touch. Now you push out of the circle and put your other foot heel on the circumference of the circle, pigeon-toed, bring your left hand underneath your right elbow, and twist your upper body to the right slightly. That's called flower hides underneath the leaf. Now you scoop your right hand, twisting your body a little bit down, bringing your left hand up, looking at it. You always look at the palm in Bagua. Unlike Tai Chi, you're looking at your palm all the time, the palm that's doing the work. So from here you scoop your right palm, bring your left palm up on the outside, and bring it over in a big arc, and as you bring it down to the center, you turn into a number 3 palm and slip forward with your left foot, and you walk around the circle once. This is called the single palm change. Now you throw the fan. I'll just move around a bit further so you can see that. So you walk around the circle once, back to your starting spot with your left foot forward. You take a pigeon-toed stance with your right heel on the circumference. And as you put your weight onto your right leg, you strike your own right forearm with your. That's like the Japanese ladies opening the fan. They throw the fan, they break it like that and open it. It's called purple swallow throws fan. From here, that movement tends to push your right hand down. You turn your left toe on the circumference and strike to the groin with your palm. Both palms are turned out, notice. From here, you just turn your left foot out and you repeat what you did before on the open side. You push out with your palms, take a pigeon-toe stance, both heels on the circumference, scoop your left hand with a little dip of your body. Your right hand comes up. As it comes to the center at number 3 palm, and you slip and walk around the circumference again. Back to your starting spot. Now when you get back to your starting spot, you repeat everything that you did on the other side. This is called single palm change. Block down with your right palm, strike over the circumference, push out, scoop your right hand up, twist in and push, and that's the finish of the first palm change. Now, of course, we keep going here into the second palm change, but I'll just repeat that and just show you what it looks like. And so on. From there we go into the second palm change. So you walk around the circle once, holding a number 3 palm, and you still throw the fan. So you walk around back to your beginning spot again, and you throw the fan. Bang. Most of them start with is throwing the fan. Where your hands cross here should be the center of the circle. So the weight's on your right leg. You do the same thing again. That's called closing the door and pushing the moon. This time you turn your left foot out of the circumference, take your right palm up in front of you so you're looking at it, and step on the circumference with your right heel and push with your left hand. You're breaking an arm there. Your arm is in between there and you're pulling and pushing. Take a step back with your left foot, strike downwards with your left palm and your right fingers poke into your side of your body. Looking over your shoulder, not down like that, over your shoulder. You scoop with your left hand, like that, to lift up. Bring your right foot in as you turn your toes. Turn your left foot into the center, lifting up with your right hand, and step forward, bang. I'll just repeat that. So you've walked they all start with a counterclockwise circle. So you finished your first palm change with your second palm change, throw the fan, there's a little stamp forward there. So the front foot, it's not like as if you're stamping down onto your front foot. It's like a horse going like that. So it sort of goes, pulls you forward and your back foot just shuffles up behind it. From there, you take your right hand, and it's like you're going to pat someone on the bum here, like this. You bring it through like so, and turn your left toe in and come through to a pigeon-toed stance, heels on the circumference, right hand under your elbow. You slide your right palm underneath your left one, take your right palm right over your head, you turn your left foot to the left, bend over backwards so you can see your palm going around your head, and keep looking at it, and then take your eyes off it as you go into the center and face out of the circle again. Bring your left hand up and your right hand down in a sort of pung move. This is called holding the moon in your breast. Turn your left toes out, push out again, and back in the same way that you did for your single palm change. Now we finish, this is called double palm change. Now we do exactly on the other side again, exactly what we've just done. So I'll just go through that, I'll just perform it now. Throw the fan. And then you walk the circle once more to go into number 3 palm change. Now from here, of course, we go into number 3 palm. So you've just walked around the circle once after repeating the number 2 palm on the other side, and you're going counterclockwise again. So now we'll go into the number 3 palm. You start it the same way as you started all the others. You throw the fan, close the door and push the moon. At this time you push out of the circle straight away and bring your right palm underneath your left one with the weight on your left leg. Now, from here, notice you're in a pigeon-toed stance. You roll your right hand up the outside and your left hand comes down to about waist height. As you change your weight to your right leg, you take your left hand around your back with the fingers pointing on the circumference and looking at your left shoulder. Now this is a little difficult movement here. You've got to spin on your right, I'll do the footwork first. You spin on your right heel, just like that. So that your left foot now comes around on the circumference. You're spinning on your right heel. But as you do that, you must poke your hand out, and this is called drilling palm, and you drill it. So the palm, fingers must always point in that direction. So if you turn around and you go, like, see, that's wrong, it's pointing out that way. So your fingers must extend as you turn and they drill over like that. So as you do that spin, and your right hand just comes down like so. It's a number 5 palm and a number 2 palm there. So let me do that from here. Number 3 we're going into. Take it up. Drilling palm. Now from here you turn your palms out again just like you did. Take a pigeon-toed stance again. Only this time you take the right palm up the middle and turn your left palm over and take it down, and you wait on your left leg and you look at the pigeon flying to heaven. That's like this. I'll do it over here so you can see. Like that. So from there, let me do that again. So from here, you spin around, drilling palm. Turn your palms out, take your right hand down and up. Now you drop your palm over your head as you do the same thing that you just did. Only this time when you spin, you do something like you probably wanted to do before. You bring the palm up into holding the moon in your breast. Now from here, you turn your left foot out on the circumference, take your right hand underneath your left elbow and strike it as both hands turn, and step on the circumference with your feet parallel and strike. This is non-office food. Notice how the weight's on your left leg and you go concave. You're not turning into it like this, you're turning your body out. That's simply taking a block with your left hand, striking into the chin with your other palm. So now that looks like this. When you do it, it's all circular, so it comes here. That's what it looks like. From that position, you turn and carry your bag to the mountain. Your right hand goes over your head. You turn your right toe back to the left on the circumference and your left foot turns and you're holding down here. From here, you drop both hands down, sort of like you're going to draw some guns. Now you're going to turn to the right and then swivel on your left heel so that it's called black bear, looks back. So your hands are like this, you're taking a block with that arm as you say you come. So that's how you end up. Let me do it over here. So from that position, bang, you turn back, drop your hands down and swivel on your left heel. Now you go straight into hawk swoops on foul from here. So from here, your hand comes up, turn your left foot on the circumference and strikes upwards like that, and it ends up with the fingers up. Weight on your back leg. Turn your left toes in, step on the circumference. Now this time you bring your weight forward and strike upwards again as your right hand comes back. It's going out of the circumference, so it's the opposite of the one you just did. Now you turn your left palm over as you turn your right toe a little bit to the left. Bring your right hand up. Now you make 2 fingers here. That's the palm, the hawk palm. The fingers are joined here. Your ring finger and your thumb are joined, and it's used for striking like that. Like that. So from that last one, hawk, turn this one over, bring this one up, turn your foot. Now you take a big long step along the circumference, sweep your left hand down across your body, put the heel on the circumference, and come up to the rear, in a lifting motion. I'll do that over here. So after Black Bear looks back, bang, you strike, step through, strike, turn your right foot and step, bang, like so. From here, you jump backwards with your right foot and bring a left toe stance on the circumference and pull your left hand into your ear, still holding both fingers like that. So it comes into your ear like this, and you're crouching down. This is called monkey takes the fruit, there he's taking the fruit, monkey hides in the cave to eat the fruit. Now you pick your left foot up and just put it down. You're going to jump onto your right foot like that, as your right hand comes up and your left hand comes down, and you jab with your fingers. That's called monkey spits or vomits the food. He's eaten too much. So there's a little hop there. So it goes from here, down, bang, jab, jump back, pick your foot up, little jump, whoop, into the monkey. From there we go into the duck lands on water posture. These all, I'll do this continuously in a minute. So you've come to that one, sorry, that one. You circle both hands in, the wrists do circles. You take them down like this. You're looking at your right palm at the moment. Take your foot down and place your right shoulder onto your right knee. Both hands are facing palm up and in line with your left foot. Come up, circle your hand up, come up and just drag your right foot up in a sort of a palm position. Turn both palms out as you turn your foot out, push out, and come back in the same way we came back in for them all. Then you walk the circle once, and then repeat it on the other side. So that's what I'll do now. The other way, and now we're ready to go into fourth arm change. Now from this point you've walked around the circle once again, you get back to your starting spot and you start number 4 in the same way. So you throw the fan, but instead of doing close the door and push the moon on your back leg, you step forward and do it on your front leg. Now you do the chicken posture. This is called the embroidered chicken or coloured chicken, stretches legs down, as you did before, only on the outside, so you're doing it to the inside this time. So it looks like this. You walk around once, now you swivel exactly the same as before, take a step forward, just like before, and you're doing it inside the circle now. Bring your hand around, bring it out, bend over, and to here. This time it starts a little bit different. You turn your right toes in and push the tiger down. Both hands just push down in front of you with the elbows sort of over the top of each knee, so the left hand sort of in front of the right hand. Now you repeat the chicken one again. You step forward with your left foot and strike down again. Swivel again. This time you don't do the little stamp. Now you do a sort of a half version of the big spinny round one again. You turn your right toes out, you take your left palm under your right one, step around to pigeon toes, take it around your head just like before, and then back to the normal position again. Now you do a sort of a feint. You're going to pretend you're going to do one of these ones that you did before, but you don't do it. So from this point, you take your right palm around, whoop, pick up your leg as if you're going to do it, but you change your mind, you step forward on the circumference and up, do a sort of a break again. This time it's not like that, the palm's in this way. It's called fierce tiger jumps out. Now from here, you strike down with your left palm and your right hand sort of goes just across your body. This is called lifting up your dress or lifting up your clothes to walk. That's it. So from here, bang, just lean down and look at your left palm. there. Scoop your left palm up, bring your feet back. You're lifting something up with your left hand, take your left foot in and strike. Lifting the mountain and pushing it into the ocean. Step back behind your left foot with your right foot for back falls to earth. And simply reverse your hand. Your left hand's going to come down here to your right elbow and your right fingers are going to point into your right eyebrow. So from here you step backwards, put your right knee on your left calf and like that. It's bent downwards. From here you place your weight onto your right leg and you do the duck lands on water posture again. So you take your wrists down, step down, put your right shoulder on your left knee, right knee. You come up the same way that you finished off that last one, push out and back in again. Here you walk the circle once. You finish the fourth palm change now. On that side you've got to repeat the whole thing on the other side. Now here, we come into the monkey builds the nest posture. You don't come straight into the normal one and walk the circle when you come out of the fourth palm change. So out of the fourth palm change on the other side, you come up to holding the moon in your breast. You turn your hands out, but you build the nest. That's how a monkey builds a nest. He pulls branches across and lays them on top of each other. So that's how you do it. You just come up. From down here, come up, turn your palms out, build the nest. Now you go into offering the food, so turn your left foot and push both palms out like so. That's just like this, you go away from your body. So from here it's just, now drop your hands down in a blocking motion and jab into the center with your fingers. That's Tim Wong holds statue. Now you walk the circle once, holding your hands like this. This is the beginning of the fifth palm change. When you get around your starting spot, you take a pigeon-toed stance and bring your palms, right palm under your left one, cross them, like so, into the center. Pull your hands into your sides, you turn your left foot on the circumference and you strike. Both number one palms, left hand's higher than your right one. Now you're getting the power for this one from your front leg, you're pushing back on it. So you come into it and bang, so you're pushing back onto your back leg. Turn your left toes out, bring your right hand underneath your left elbow, circle it around on the circumference. Now you've got to have your weight on the front leg here, it's a big twist. Circle right into the center. Now from here you do an outside turn, your left hand comes underneath your right elbow, you simply do an outside turn back into the center. Now you continue that, taking your right leg, spinning around on your left toes. You spin around like so, and put your left hand across your right arm, or your right arm comes underneath your left hand. Now you spin around, you keep spinning, and you take your right hand over your head and your left hand down like this from this posture. You keep spinning around to the other side. From here you take your palms into your hip and stamp your left ball of your foot on the ground. This is called cock fighting, rooster fighting. And step forward with two jabs, dragging your back foot up as you finish that. The weight's slightly on your front leg. Now your left hand comes down, as your right hand comes up, you swivel on your left heel and just do a pung upwards or holding the moon. You come out of the circle just like normal and build the nest again with your right hand underweight on your left leg. Pull your hands in and now we're repeating the left side of this one. Block down, jab into the center, walk around the circle once. Come back to your starting spot. Come out and back into the center, just like before. So you can see I'm doing the left-hand side, more or less how it should be done, and I'm working on the right-hand side. So all you've got to do with the left side is to copy exactly what you did on the right-hand side. So now we walk around the circle once, coming into the 6th palm change, throw the fan, rhinoceros looks at the moon. So you slam your left hand down on your right forearm, bang, and it bounces off in a block upwards, and strike to the groin as you turn your foot on the circumference. Turn your left toe out, scoop with your left hand, lifting up again, pull your right hand in, step on the circumference and pump it. Pump it through into the chest. Turn your left foot back a little bit, left hand comes across your chest and strike with your right palm. This is called python spits germs or spits venom. There's the python and there's the venom. So that one goes like this. Throw the fan, scoop, bang, down there, still on the circumference. Now from here, just straighten your right heel out a little bit and make your scoop your right hand up so it goes flat, and stand up on one leg and keep those same fingers that you had in the 3rd palm change. This is called the hawk posture. I'll just turn around. So from here, it comes up like so. So it's just so from here, you come into this one, bang, turn your heel out, take your hand straight up the rear, this hand comes up the middle, and you bend forward. Now in the form, that one has to stop dead like that, just for a second or so. Now you swivel on your right heel around the other way, with putting your left foot down, and bring your left hand down and up in front like that. Turn your left toe out, come up and repeat the 2nd palm change, that bit of it. And finish off the 6th palm change. Now you walk the circle once and repeat the whole lot on the other side. Now from here we go straight into the 7th, which is the lion rolling the ball. So it's another one where we don't walk around the circle straight away. We come into a palm change straight away. So you just come out of that one, scoop it, and both hands come up like this out of that one. They both come up and rotate over and both point in to the circumference. Now you walk the circle once, holding that particular posture. Now you get back to your starting spot here, and we go into 7. So from here, left foot forward, you hit out of the circumference with both palms. So from here they just go bang. Then you bring your weight forward and push down with both palms over your left knee. Step on the circumference with your right foot and tiger. That's like this. So it comes out and then scratches down. So you're walking out like this, you strike outwards, bang, push down over your knee, step forward and tiger. Turn your left foot back on the circumference, bring your left hand down and pump it. So your left palm's straight up looking at it, and you pump out with your right hand, fist down. So from that one, tiger, bring your left hand swinging down, bring your right hand in, and bang as your weight comes forward. Turn your left palm, foot out, take your left palm underneath your right elbow, like so. And your feet are parallel at this point. Now you just turn your right foot, so there's pigeon toes your other one, and take your right hand over your head and your left hand down in that typical posture again. That's how the hand is. Now from here, you do one of these spins again. Now this is difficult, I'll go through this in bits. What you do with your feet here is this. You do 1.5 steps, so you spin on your right heel again, 1 and 2. So you take a little quick step onto the circumference with your right foot. So the stepping goes like this, 1 and 2. What happens with your, we'll do the left hand first. So you're standing in this position, You take your left hand around. It simply goes with the timing of your feet. It goes out to the side. And as your other foot comes down, it just comes down over your right thigh. So it's just doing a circle, bang, like that. Do that again. So from here, take your hand around, take it out and down. It's the right hand that's involved because it does something with the other time. So what the right hand does is this. As you swivel, it comes down across your body, down across, so it comes across your left, down across your left shoulder. So from here, you swivel and it comes down. Now it comes up, it keeps going in that counterclockwise circle towards the center. Up, you take your second step, and then it does a punch, but all by itself. So it goes 1, 2, into the center. So your right hand has to go 1 and 2. So you're doing that. So you're going 1 and 2 into the center. That's the only fist you have in БАГУА. So if you put them both together, you get this. From here, put them out. 1, 2. I'll do that slowly. 1, 2. From here, you go straight into the other side. So you don't walk the circle once with this one. You just push straight out of the circle, push down over your right knee this time, do the tiger one, just as you did on the other side, back and pump it, turn your right toes out, take your hand under your elbow, turn in. Now here, we don't do exactly the same as what we just did on the other side. So you get out of doing that same difficult one again. This time it's a little bit easier. The right hand does the same thing. As you spin around, you take your right hand around, and it just comes out 1 and 2, like that. Exactly the same as what you did on the other side. It's the left hand that does something different this time. So the left hand simply comes out and into a number 8 palm as you do it. So they're both doing opposing circles. So they're coming out, both coming out. The left hand comes up the middle and into a number 8 palm into the center. So that's all that's happening there. It's much easier. The left palm goes out like that and up, whereas the right palm comes out and down. So you get that sort of thing happening. So it goes into the center with your number 8 palm. Now you walk the circle once. So that's a finish of that. So now you walk the circle once, holding that number 8 palm. You go and throw the fan from there into the 8th palm now. Now from here you do what's called shooting the person off their horse with a bow and arrow. So you throw the fan, you take a left step forward and down. So this hand goes over your head and that one down there. It's not turning like that on the circumference, it's turning into the center. So you throw the fan to the number 8 palm, bang, bounce. See, it bounces, it goes boom, down into that palm. Now you step coming to a snake coils around a pillow tree. So your left hand cuts down over your left knee like that. So it cuts down over the outside of it like that. And your right palm from here comes up over your ear as you step behind with your right foot. So it goes looking to the left. And the weight's on your left leg. Just stepping behind with that foot, the calves, the knees touching your left calf. So put your weight onto your right leg and swivel on your right heel and just open your palms like that as you bring your foot around. See, so you just simply, from here, put your right heel down and you're going to swivel on your right heel as you open both palms. One's down, one's up, over each knee. From here you go into the opposite of the snake creeps around the pillow tree. You turn your left heel in, both heels turn, put your right hand over your left knee and your left hand goes over your face, crouching down. Then you step forward and push both hands down. Notice how the palm is out, left palm is out like that and the fingers are pointing down. So you're going out on a tangent now, out of this circle. From there you jump backwards with your left foot and stick your left hand under like this. So that's what you're going to do, is stick your left hand under and jump backwards into a toe stance, leaning forward slightly. And now you See that? You don't just go like this. Your whole body, the shake must come from your legs, up, out along your hands, and they shake. Like that. This is called fish splashing in the water. And just do that whole section again. So you walk around, like you walk around with number 8 palm, throw the palm, bang, step behind. Swivel on your right heel, open up. Down, step forward, and push your fingers down. Now jump backwards, put your hand on it, and shake. From here you take both hands up and over your head, like that. So you pick your right foot up, place your right hand over your outside of your right foot. So your right hand's like that over your head. Now from here, you kick. Bang! So your hands must literally explode out at that point. So from here, your hands come out and over. And then you kick upwards, bang, like that. But your hands must throw up as soon as your kick comes. So it goes bang, bang. You step forward on the circumference and do a strike downwards to the groin. From this point you turn your left foot back and do one of those strikes again, the same as before, as when you did the hawk posture, just before it. Straighten your hand out. This time, instead of doing the 2 fingers, you just do your hand, open palm, not like that this time. So, from that last one, bang, bang, up, and down. Now from here you spin and finish off the same way that you finished off number 3. And you come back in with the number 8 palm, just like before. And now you have to work the circle once, holding your palm like that, and repeat that whole thing on the other side. I'll just move back here. Back in as normal, back into the center again, and walk the circle once. Now that's the finish of the 8 classical Bagua palms. That's all there is in the classical original Bagua form. However, I've added these 3 short ones onto the end of it, because I think they're important. So we do the crane first, then we do the tiger, then we do the bear. So you come out of that posture and you walk the circle once again. These first 2 are very simple, very short. You throw the fan just like before, bang. Pull your hands in, and as you turn to the left, just poke both fingers up towards the centre with your right hand. Now you're going to do an inside change on your heels, and as you do that you pull your fingers in. These are the fingers that we use for the hawk posture, like that. So that's how these 2 fingers are touching, and these 2 are used for jabbing, like so. So that's the posture that I'm talking about when we're just talking about that posture that I'm using just then. And then you spin around and come into an open palm posture. So it's from that to that. So, I'll do that again. So we throw the fan, bang, pull your hands in and strike. Bah! Sorry, with open palms. Now you pull your 2 fingers in as you just saw, and swivel and bah! Drive your palms out again. Now you turn your right toe in, so you pigeon toe, take your outside hand, this one, down and up just like before, like the pigeon. Weight on your left leg. Take your hand around your back, and swivel on your toes, swivel on your right heel as you pump your hands up. See how the hands really pump out to the rear. Now you simply from there do an outside change, so you turn your palms up and swivel on your heels back into the center. Now you start walking with your hands like that and slowly start turning them over until they come into number 3 hands, halfway around the circle. And then you do the other side of that. And back, slowly turn into number 3 palms around the circle again. So from here, we go straight into number 10. Same as before, you throw the fan. This time you carry it out like the number 3 one. This time, instead of going from here, you scoop your hands and you do like you did. Remember when you went to the center for the number 8 one, number 7 one, I think. Yeah, number 7 one, the lion posture. And you carry it out, and you go along the circumference of the circle. So you scoop your hands, bring them both up in front, and poke them along the circumference. Then turn your right foot in, bring your right hand down, and repeat exactly what you just did. Right hand goes up, take your palm around, and come back in again, and walk the circle once, and now repeat that on the other side. Now we go into the last palm change, which is the bear. You throw the fan and pump both fingers out on top of each other to the front. Once again, the power is coming from your front foot and you're sitting back. So you throw the fan, boom, pull your hands in, and as you push back, you thrust both fingers out, attacking here, CV14, the hard point, and here. Now you carry that ball out of the circle, turn your left foot out, carry that ball out of the circle so now your back is facing into the circle. You change your hands over. The left hand comes up the outside, the right hand comes down. So you change the ball. Now you bring both hands down like you did the bear posture before in number 3, palm change. And you swivel on your right heel around and come into the opposite of what you just did, like that. Now you carry that one up around here. Bang. You carry that one out of the circle as well. Swap your hands over. Take your hands down and swivel on your left heel this time like you did before. Around into the bear posture. Into the hawk posture. Into the hawk posture. Bang. It's exactly the same as in number 3. Sweep down. Bang. Jump back. Into that posture. This time it's a little bit different. The footwork's the same. You jump up, take your right palm over your head, and this palm just turns in. And you do a finger strike into the center. Now you go down for the duck lands on water, come up, out, and back in again. And you repeat that on the other side. Walk the circle once, back to your starting spot. Now you always bring your left foot up to your right foot. So your right foot turns out. You bring both hands down in front, palms up. Step forward with your left foot. In breath and out breath. That's now the finish of the classical BAGUA form plus the 3 extras that I've added. I'll now start off with the linear or the fighting form from BAGUA, and when I finish that I'll put onto the end of this video both forms with me doing them at the correct speed so that you can see what they look like properly. The linear form is more of a fighting form. It takes each of those postures that you've just learned and puts them into more of a a fighting situation. Bagua tends to assume that you're always fighting against two people. So sometimes you might be doing something with that hand or that hand, which means someone's coming from behind and so on. I won't attempt to show you the applications without a partner, but I will put a few of the applications onto the end of the video using one of my students. So we start facing this direction, we make that the north, and you stand with your feet parallel and shoulder width. You step back with your left foot and block with an upward striking palm with the knife edge of this number one palm, bang, across your body. Someone's throwing a right punch at you and you're blocking it glancingly up like that, out to your left, and bringing your palm forward, thrusting forward as you do it. He's stepping forward with his right foot, so you step back with your left foot, block upwards, you take over the block with your left hand, number two palm, step forward and give him a shoulder, an elbow stroke to the chest. Now that, in actual fact, it looks like this. So it happens like as if you've only done one movement. So again, step back, block up with your palm, take over with the left palm, you're controlling that same right arm here, step in and bang, plow into the chest with your elbow. Now he would probably block your palm with his left hand and slide it up and hit you in the face. So all you have to do from this point is to slap him with the back of your palm on the nose, which blocks his hand out, as well as slapping him on the palm, on the face. You rock back a little bit, jab him in the neck, take your right palm over his left palm, get his elbow in an elbow lock, lift the elbow up, step through as he steps backwards, and bang, slam your single pounding palm into his chest. Notice how I've lifted that. This is a posture from the form you've just done. From there, we practice on the other side. We do exactly the same thing on the other side. So from there, you block with your left palm, take under with your right one, step and elbow. Slap with the back of your palm, jab, turn it out, left foot turns out, step through and single pounding palm. Now from here, you assume that he's going to grab your palm and pull you down. So you go with it, you come up, bring your hand up, breaks the hold, you cut down over his arm and attack with a palm strike into his chest. Then as he's reeling backwards, you step in and do a push into his chest. You assume that Bagua is certainly the martial art of overkill. You know, any one of these things have dropped the person, but they give you 1,600 different things to do after you've defeated the guy. So let's do that again. Let's just go from the top. Now from here you assume that the person is pulling your arm down again, so you go with it. See how you take your arm under like that? So he's standing in front of you, you take your arm under, swivel it under his arm, you step in with your left foot, bring your left hand on the outside of his arm, bring the right foot in facing your back to him, and pull his arm down over your arm and break his arm. Right hand in forward over your left shoulder. You stand up, you take a block from the right punch. Now you're facing into this back corner. You bring your elbow up and slam it down onto that arm, like that. Weight on your front leg. You take your right hand over your head as you hold the person's arm in here tightly, wrap your hand around his waist, bringing your weight forward, and pull him over your leg. Like so. From here, you strike around to the rear, both hands strike around to the rear, so it goes one, scoop your right hand up, bring your left hand underneath it, block out to the left, and do a strike to the front. That's the opposite direction that you started in. Now you repeat the same thing you did on the other side from here. Take your palm down, up, step forward, block it down and strike, and step in as you strike. You do the same thing you do on the other side now. Take your left hand down as you turn your left foot out, bring it up, bring your right hand up on the outside of it, step around with your right foot, step in with your left foot, bob down with your left hand on the outside. You come up to the same position, take a block with your left hand, your left foot comes across, you slam down on top of his elbow with your elbow, left hand over, you grab around his waist as you step behind him, swivel around, push around to the other side, scoop your left hand this time, right hand comes under, step forward and single pounding palm again. From here, you assume that he's grabbing your hand and pulling it down again, so you kick him in the shins, put your foot down. If he gets away from that and steps backwards, poke him in the eyes with those fingers again. If he steps back after that, you rotate both your hands, palm upwards, step behind him and throw him across your knee. This your hands go across his neck. Now he jumps back and throws a right kick at you, so you block the right kick down, lift, get your elbow on his shoulder underneath the kick, lift his leg up, bring your hand over, step behind, and his legs across your hand here now, and slam down to his groin as he goes backwards. Block, take over the block, step through and do a reverse palm strike. Block down with your left hand, circle your hand around the arm, take it over with your right hand, and let a natural palm strike. Now you do the opposite of what you just did. From here, you do the kick to the knee, put your foot down and jab to the eyes. Step behind and open your hands. Block the kick, lift it up, step around, bring your hand over and strike to the groin as you throw him over. Block with your left hand, take it over with your right hand and do a reverse strike, just like we did. Drop down, take it under and natural strike. From here, you bring your left palm under your right one, swivel on your heels to the rear and do an elbow stroke. That's the power there. Pick up your right foot, he's going to hit you on the head now, so you block upwards as you swivel on your right heel, so you pick your foot up, block upwards with your right palm inside your left palm, something like a Tai Chi movement. Block, strike down across the belly. So from that point, it's just a block upwards like this, form you're blocking something, and then down across his belly. You do exactly that on the other side, you bring your right hand under, swivel, bang with elbow. Pick your left foot up, block up, and point. Take a block with your right hand as you bring your left foot right, turn your right foot out, and strike with your left palm slightly across. Bring your right palm out, circle both hands to palm up as you check the leg with your left foot. Just checking a knee and throwing the person over like that. Now you take the block with your left hand, put your foot down where it is, and strike across, same thing again. Bring your left hand out, both hands circle out and turn palm up as you check across with your right foot. It's not a kick, it's just a knee check. Grab your chest with your left hand, bang, hammer your elbow down onto the bloke's elbow, strike him in the eyes with your right fingers and check his leg again. So let me do that one again. From that last one, turn, strike, check, turn, strike, check. Grab your chest just like that. You're grabbing an arm on your chest there. Palm has just been pumped into your chest. Grab it, you hammer down with your elbow, jab him in the eyes with an under right hand while you check his leg with your foot. Bang. You roll, he goes to hit you on the head, you roll both palms over your head to block his punch and come into his belly with both palms in like, so it goes in like that into his belly. Just step in. Right palm under, swivel around, right around here, grab your chest again with your right hand, so exact opposite now. Hammer down with your left elbow, step forward as you hammer down with your left elbow, strike him in the eyes and check his leg. Roll your hands over your head back to the rear corner. Bring your left hand under, swivel around, block. Take your right hand under, swivel around, block, and hammer fist. Hammer palm rather. Single palm in palm. Now we're going to the next section. He's blocked this and he's coming through with a punch this way. You wrap his arm up like so. So from there, you just wrap his arm up. You bring your right foot right around to there and open both your palms. Like so. Then you swivel around, bring your hands up and over on your left heel and your right toe. Bring your foot up like this. So your hands into a hook here, behind your right knee. Step in and hit him in the groin. Back of your hand. So I'll do that one again. There's your palm strike. You block with your right palm, turn your right toe in, take your hand around the rear, around to one of those. Strike around, scooping your right hand up just like before, bring your left hand under, step through and single palm strike. Once again, you wrap it up, turn your left foot out, swivel down to the rear, swivel on your heel and your toe, bring your hands over, into the groin. You block with your left hand, turning your left toe in, bring it around again, into a number 5 hand. So that's just simply from here, it's just... Now you take a block in with that, he's throwing a punch now, so you block it in and bang, you bang him on the face. So you take a block in with your right palm and flick it out onto his face. Now you turn your right toes out and slap him on the groin. Now you step through and slap him on the face again. So, turn your left foot out, slap him on the groin. Take a step through and slap him on the face with your right hand, rather. So that section looks like this. You go block, slap, turn your foot out, block, slap, strike, step through, and strike. So that after that third one, turn your left foot out, your right hand blocks down, you see, over the top of the other one, and the other one comes up the middle and slaps into the face. You sit back, he's throwing a punch, and you just do a block. So that's glancing block again. So from that last one, you just go, turn your right foot out. You take over his elbow with this hand, like in the form, see? That one, turn your left foot right in. Now you're taking the elbow with your left hand, spinning around and grabbing his knee with your right hand, and you spin right down into the ground, like so. So you're pulling him over your shoulders. You come up, left hand under, spin on your heel and your toe, turn your left foot out, and left hand comes under again, and you face right back the other way, bang again. So now you repeat that same thing on the other side. Block, strike, 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 strike. Remember to turn your foot out when you do the low strike. And now the right hand blocks down as you strike. Sit back and block. Turn your left foot out, take your right hand under, grab his elbow, take the block, swivel, twist yourself into the ground, like so. Come up with your right hand under, swivel out of it, take a block, turn your right toes in, bring your right hand on top of your left one, crossing them, step behind, and strike down as your weight goes onto your left leg. Cross your right hand over your left one like this, step behind the person and throw. Left hand comes on the right as you swivel around to the other side to do the exact opposite. You block in with your left hand as you turn your left foot in. Left hand goes on top as you strike down. There, weights on your right leg. Left hand crosses under right as you step behind and open up. I'll just repeat that again from that second block. Block. I think it's around this way. Block. Take it under. Down. Right hand comes under. Block. Strike. Throw. Block. Strike. throw. Now from this point, you take a block with your left hand and pull your right hand into your hip. So from here, all you're doing is you're taking your block like that and bring your right hand straight into your hip like so. Turn your left foot out, grab the wrist you've just blocked, step through and jab with your number 5 hand as you hold the wrist up here. Bang. Do exactly the same thing again. Block, sit back, turn your right toes out. Hand comes under your left pectoral. Turn your right hand out, grabbing the wrist, step through, and with the turning of your body, bang. You notice there's no movement in БАГУА where the whole body isn't activated. You never just go like that. There's no power in it. It's always the whole hips twisting and turning to get maximum power. So that's the last one of those finished. Now, you turn your left foot out and block in from the outside. You're blocking in a left punch now from the outside. You take over the block. There's a lot of these taking over the block with your left hand as you step through with your right foot. Now you grab that wrist with your left hand, bring your right hand down, and as you kick him in the shins, you bring the fist around and punch him in the temple. So you're kicking, grabbing and punching all at the same time. So from that last movement, it goes block, take it under, you turn your left foot in, put it down. Bring your right hand across, you can do a crescent kick now and slap your foot. Bang, and then put it down. So from that last movement, bang, turn your foot, put it down, bring your right hand across and strike. From here you go straight into the other side of that one which you did. You turn your right toes out, block in with your left hand, take over the block with your right hand and kick in with your heel and punch. Turn your right foot in, bring your left hand across and the same thing again, crescent kick. From here, you put your foot after the crescent kick, put it down and drop your shoulder. It's a funny sort of movement. Someone's grabbing you from behind, from around the neck. So you drop your shoulder, rotate your shoulder across their arm, which breaks the hold. Take your left hand under your right hand, grab their arm and strike back to the rear, strike to the groin. So after that kick, you drop your right shoulder down, rotate it and strike. Turn your left toes out, bring your right hand under, block and grab, pull down. Now you rotate your left shoulder down, bring your right hand under and strike to the rear. From here, you bring your right hand under your left one, block, you're blocking a punch and push forward. Just take your left hand under, swivel around, there's a block again and bang, there's your push again. You take your left hand under and take a block. You yank the person's arm down, putting his neck out. You lift his arm up, bring your right step around behind his left leg and strike to the midsection of the groin, bang, with your right palm. To further increase that, you bob down like this is the duck lands on water posture. You grab his wrist with your left hand, lift his leg up with your right palm and throw him over your shoulder. You come up, your right hand underneath, step forward with your right foot and yank down again, opposite now. Lift it up, take your left hand around, step behind and strike to the rear. Bob down and throw him over your shoulder. Take your right hand under and do a single pounding palm strike. From here, you take your palm down, up, turn your right toe out, taking your left hand under, turn to the right a bit, step with your left foot 45 degrees out, turn right around to the left, bring your hand across and open your palms. So what you're doing here is this. You've thrown a strike, he grabs your arm and pulls it down, so you get out of it by leading your fingers and leading your fingers up. That'll break the hold. You take over his palm with that hand, take over his left arm with that hand, turn to the left, you grab his arm, pull it to the left, step around behind his left leg and pound across his chest. Bang. Come around with your left hand, do a left pounding palm strike. Same thing now. Take this palm down, bring it under, over, that's the monkey one, and again. From here you take your right hand under, your elbow, bring it around and do a push. He grabs your hands and pulls them down, you turn your right toe out, bring your hands down, fold his hands up, crossing them, re-grabbing his hands, you pull them down and pull your knee into his chest. You take his left hand, stuff it under his arm, then you grab his right arm, hold his arm in under his left arm under his right arm with your body and drop down and simply break the arm as you drop him over your shoulder. Left hand forward there. You come up from that one, simply do a strike again. Same thing now. Bring your hands down, step forward as you bring your hands crossing right under left. Yank down and bring your left foot up. Turn your left foot in, bring your left hand up and drop straight down over your shoulder. Your left hand comes under, you swivel around, you do a palm strike, bang, another one, bang as you put your left hand back, and then a hook strike. Now that hook strike is never done like that because you'll break your wrist. It's always done downward. So it's actually, although it looks like it's going straight, it's actually going down. See, so the force is going up that way. So you're not hurting. It's a terrible strike. So you come up from the floor, you go bang, bang, bang. There. Now you bring your right hand onto your left, swivel around again, and same thing again. Bang, bang, bang. From here, you block with your left hand, turning your right toe out, take your right hand around behind, and come in with a finger jab over there. Now that's from the form as well. So that works like this. You take a block around. You do a number 4 palm up to break a hold. I'll get back here for this. Up to break a hold. You spin around on your right heel to break the hold, to stop him attacking you, and block his hand like that with your left hand. He does an upper strike, so you block upwards as you step behind, and you do a back kick to his chest. I have to get over here for this. So you just spun around and blocked his kick. You block up, block, step down, across again, left hand under, and one of those throws again, across your knee. From here, you bring your right hand under. Right hand comes under. You block in. Left hand comes down. You bring it up. And another forehand. Spin on your left heel and block. Rotate it up as you step. Put your foot down. Put your foot down. Step behind. Sorry, right hand under and bring your left hand under, circle, block, do a circle down and come through under the ribs with your fingers, digging into the ribs. Same thing again, block under, turn your right foot out and point. From here, your hand gets pulled, right hand gets pulled down, so you bring it down, take it up, re-grab the person's wrist and break it with your shoulder. You've got the wrist here, you knock it with your shoulder. So from here it goes bang, left hand, bang. Now your left hand makes a hook and further damage by slamming into the groin. Do the same thing again, your left hand comes up, yank the hand down, break with your shoulder, and from that last groin strike, you bring your right hand under, block, and pounding palm strike. He blocks it and brings his hands over here to extract your face. You block it, step through, step through again and strike to the kidneys, spin around and further strike to the kidneys as he goes by. Bring your left hand under and strike with a left palm strike. Same thing again, you take the block on top, step through and bang. Spin around, right hand under, strike. Come around, strike with an elbow. Part your fingers across your chest. He's grabbing you around the waist. You're bringing your fingernails under the quick of his fingernails and ripping them just to make him let go. So he lets go, you drop straight down to the ground, strike him in the groin with your palm, kick him in the groin with your foot, step back, block and pull down. From here, you do exactly the same thing you just did, except it's a different way of getting hit. Now he's grabbing you around both arms. So you lean forward to pull him off balance and make two fists and lift both hands up like that over your head, which of course breaks his hold and makes him always fall over. You then just drop straight down to the ground when he's very off balance, stick your foot out between his legs, strike him in the groin, kick him, and further strike around to the rear with that hand. Your left hand comes under, step back, block, and yank down. At this point, my right hand comes underneath, I step back, block, and yank down. Now I strike with my left hand, bang, send my right foot out. Strike with my right hand, come through and strike to the rear, bang with my left hand. My right hand comes under and I further strike with my right hand to the rear. The left hand comes under as I step back and I block and yank down again. Then I block with a strike with the right hand, turning my left foot out, strike my left hand as I bring the weight forward and strike, bang, and bang to the rear. Again, same as before. Now your left hand comes underneath, you take a block, your right hand pushes that block under, and you come through with grabbing the guy around the neck with your hands like so. Now you block again, stick your left hand under your arm and come through with like that, grabbing him around the neck again. He grabs your hand and pulls it down, so you go with it, you turn your right toes in, you put your hands like that, you're going with it, and kick him. You do a back kick, so you struck him there, he's grabbing it, pulling it down to the rear, so you turn around and kick. So from there, you go with it. Notice how both hands have to go out as you kick backwards. So from there, it's around, take a step back and pull down. Strike, bang. Now he grabs it again and your left hand goes back this time and you put your foot down to the rear. I'll just do that little bit again. Right, so from there, 1, 2, now from here, you do one of these blocks up like that. You're just blocking your punch and glancing it off like so as you bring your left toe in. So from this last pull down, block, you further lift that elbow up with your left hand, come through and strike under the arms, and then step through again and strike with both hands, both palms to the side. You spin around with your left hand under, block, take your right hand through, this time under your left hand, make a toe stance and do exactly the same thing you just did. So you block out like so. You lift that up with your left hand, turn your right toes out, strike with your left palm, step through and strike, bang, with 2 palms. Now from here, I'll just do that bit again, just run into it for you. So begin to 1, from here, your right hand comes under, you step back, you grab the wrist and the elbow and kick him in the leg as you're pulling him down. You step back, block again with your left hand, grab his wrist and his elbow, and as you pull him down, kick him in the knee. Now from here you place your right foot and left foot on the ground and you block down with your right hand. You're blocking your punch down, glancing off and attacking the groin. You take your palm over his hand like so as you step through with your left foot, poke him in the eyes, as you turn your left foot right in. Bang. Now you bring your right hand under, spin around and further poke him in the eyes if he blocks that last poke as you bend over backwards. Now from here you swivel on your left heel, bring your left hand under, turn your right toes out and again, striking. So I'll just do that one again. Block down, take it, with your right foot forward, sorry. So you're lifting with your left hand and striking into the eyes with a snake, 2 snake fingers. Just do that one again. So, okay, you're blocking down with your right hand and your left foot forward. You step forward with that hand over, jab him in the eyes. If he blocks that hand, you turn around, jab him in the eyes, lift his arm up and stroke him in the eyes again. If he blocks that one and tries to punch you, you bring your hand underneath, take over the block and palm strike straight into the chest. From here you bring your right hand under, swivel around and do the reverse of what you just did. Block down, step through as you take that, take his hand under, step through as you poke to the eyes. Bang, bring your left hand under, poke to the eyes, lift it with your right hand and poke into the eyes again. Then your right hand comes under and palm strike. Now from here, you take a block, step back, pull the hand down and you just do a little round kick into the side of the ribs. Put your foot down and do dragon whip's tail and down and finish off. So now I'll show you what it looks like, both of those forms, what they look like in full motion, and then we'll go through some application.